Hello, everybody. I'm a little late today. It's 12:03. Well, why am I late? Hey, Team ACA 192. I'm a few minutes late because I had to go to the dentist. By the way, why are dentists often depressed? My dentist was depressed this morning. He needed some help from me. Well, because they're always looking down in the mouth. How's that? Let's adjust the lighting. Rasmus, there you are finally. I thought you forgot about us. Well, no, I didn't forget about you. However, I do have an announcement. I have a new project I've taken on. I'm writing a book on suicide prevention, and so I'm going to keep doing the live chats. That's the good news, but I'm only do them once a week on Sunday. Sundays at noon, but the Wednesdays, a temporary suspension, not permanent, but I need to create some more space in my life to do this writing. However, today we're here, so let's celebrate. Lazy Eye Ranch, there you are, off the grid. Flex Yard, what's up? As I said, I just came back from the dentist, and my dentist was depressed because he was looking down in the mouth. It is May 9th, 2018, and here we are, one day at a time. I'm listening to a very, very interesting CD by a guy named Joel Osteen. He's a non-denominational Christian minister in Houston, Texas. I know that Daniel Kate knows about him, and it's called The Night Season. It's very interesting. He talks about times in our life where things look like they're falling apart and nothing is working, and he says it's only a night season. It's only temporary. He quotes the Psalms that says, the book of Psalms, weeping is for the night, but joy comes in the morning. It's very interesting how his message parallels what I've been telling people for 17 years, which is, well, I don't even have the book in front of me. When going through hell, don't stop, right? Title of my memoir. In other words, this is something you're passing through. The valley of the shadow of death, but it's a valley, and after the valley comes the mountain. So it's interesting his message parallels what I've been saying, which is when you're despairing, when you're losing hope, remember, this too shall pass. Suicide prevention, says Rasmus, a very important topic. I think it's going to be the topic of my thesis. Of course, that's if I don't commit suicide myself. Very funny. A little bit of gallows humor never hurt anybody, right? Yeah, so, yeah, I've been thinking about this idea for years, and then about 3 days after I got the idea to write this book, I got a call from a local, it's not a crisis line, it's called the Oregon Warm Line. They do, you call them up on the phone if you're lonely, you're distressed, and you're not in crisis, but you're just needing some help, and they decided to hire me, or they wanted me to come and give a training on this topic, because sometimes people call up to this line and they're desperate. Flex Yard, it's fascinating to read what you wrote in your suicide note, yet here we are in 2018, emphasized the hopelessness of depression. Are you talking about my book, Healing from Depression, Chapter 1, or When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop? Which book do you have, Flex Yard? By the way, what part of the country are you from? Yes, of course. This is the problem, everybody. Now, let me give you an example about hopelessness. So about a month ago, a lovely woman from my group had wanting to be a nurse. She was applying to a really nice medical school here called OHSU, Oregon Health Sciences University. And when you get a job at this place, even if you're just a receptionist, they will pay for your nursing school, and they also give you free health insurance, and you can see a therapist for free. She had been turned down 3 times. She came to the group in a state of complete hopelessness. She said, that's it, I give up, it's over, I'll never get to nursing school, I'll never get this job. And then people said, no, 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 you know, don't give up yet, just, you know, when going through hell, don't stop, keep persevering. And 3 weeks later, she got offered a job. So the hopelessness that she felt was not rational, but she needed other people to hold the hope for her. It's called holding a field, keeping the high watch. That's what people did to me in the year 1997. When I went into the Living Richmond Center on January 14th, 1997, I was hopeless. I was out of tricks. You know, medication didn't work. I was not a candidate for ECT. Deep breathing didn't work. Acupuncture didn't work. Therapy didn't work. I was at the end of my rope. And then Michael Moran, the assistant minister, said, the reason you're going through this hell is because one day you're going to come out of it and you're going to write a book about it, and I'm going to hold the high watch. I'm going to hold a field. I see you coming out of this. I can see you writing this book. And so did the other 11 people there, and I got better. Starting 3 days later, and within 90 days, I was out of the depression. So what is the moral of the story? We cannot heal alone. I had 12 people holding a high watch for me, holding a field, even though I was hopeless. They were not. Oliver McLeod, where are you, Oliver McLeod? What did I do with those things? Damn. Oh, he sent me the... I hate to misplace things. Anyway, Oliver McLeod sent me the... what are they called, Oliver? Fisherman's Friends. I swear... Oh, here they are. Look, he sent me a whole package of this via Amazon.com. Anytime I cough, I just put one of these puppies in my mouth. I love it. Aniseeds. Anyway, thank you, Oliver McLeod from the UK. I love what you've sent me, and keep up the good work. And thank you for being a contributor to Patreon. Had to kill 2 rattlesnakes this morning inside my chicken pen. Not a fun day for grid living. Woke me up better than coffee, though. You're amazing, Lazy Eye Ranch. How do you do it? How do you manage to keep, to live like that? You're like a pioneer woman. You're amazing. When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. Yeah, I'm really proud of that book, Flex Your Art. It was my memoir, self-published it. I treasure that book even more than Healing from Depression, which was the book that took its place. Marin W. from Japan initially was visiting her husband, and now where are you? I don't know why, but my depression gets worse in the evening as opposed to the morning. That is unusual. Usually depression is bad in the morning, gets better in the evening. Just keep observing that. KIC Bailey, greetings first time. Jeff Delala, hello my friend. I love Jeff. What a cool person. Marin W. Hey Marin, I don't think you've become a patron yet. That's okay. Don't feel guilty, but it's nice to hear from you. You don't know if there are any other lines for calling? Well, you don't live in Oregon. We have something called the Oregon Warm Line. It's a tremendous, tremendous service. It's not a crisis line, but you can call from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. whenever you're feeling lonely or down or hopeless. Just if you want someone to talk to. It's amazing. Anyway, getting it back to Patreon. I've kind of been stuck lately. I haven't had any new patrons in like the last week. It's very unusual. www.patreon.com. So anybody who becomes a patron or a contributor during this 60-minute live chat, I will send them a free copy of When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. I know a gal named Jen. I forgot her. Misfire Jack is her YouTube name. She got my book in the mail just 2 days ago, and she's really looking forward to reading it. Flex Your Art, I'm getting very depleted because of my anxiety. I have to sleep several times a day due to mental exhaustion. Wow. So Flex Your Art, have you seen my video called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain? I'm going to type it right up here. How. It's my most popular video, and I have to tell you, I just copied it out of a book, but at least I gave the book credit. Here it is. How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. So check out that video and check out the book called Rewire Your Anxious Brain. As I said at the beginning of the hour, 8 minutes into the hour, I am going to take a sabbatical from doing these live chats on Wednesday. I will continue them on Sunday every week. And there may be some Wednesdays when my workload lightens up and I will do it, but I'll let you guys know on Sunday about it. I will give you advance notice if I'm going to do one on Wednesday. For right now, next Wednesday I'm going off to New York, and I'm going to be busy the next couple of Wednesdays. But Sunday is good as gold. Lazy Eye Ranch. The hardest thing about off-grid living is loneliness. My husband left 3 years ago, mostly because I had chronic illness, trigeminal neuralgia, aka suicide disease. Well, I had a doctor friend who had trigeminal neuralgia. He actually had brain surgery and it healed. But have you gone to a neurologist, Lazy Eye Jack? If you have, you're in California. They have state insurance. Maybe you should get it checked out. Maybe they can do something. KIC Bailey. And by the way, Lazy One Ranch, you should call the Oregon Warm Line. You know why? Because I don't think you have to be in Oregon to just call it. I'll check it out, but here's the number. If you just want to talk to someone, don't mention you're in California. I don't know. I'll ask them if people can call out of state. So don't call this number yet until I check it out, okay? I want to make sure we're doing everything according to protocol. Okay, KLC Bailey says, bipolar type 2 diagnosed years ago. I've left it largely untreated, unseen. Now for the past year, I've really been imaging damaging. Just waiting on how to address this. But, well, of course, KIC Bailey, go see a psychiatrist or nurse practitioner. You should be on a good mood stabilizer. And let me tell you one that has worked for so many people. My late psychiatrist swore by this drug. It's no side effects that I can see, and I'm very sensitive. It's called Lamictal. Flex Yard says, I've seen the video, How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. I've been applying the techniques, thanks. I just need more time for my batteries to recharge. Well, good for you. By the way, the sound is good, I take it. Nobody's complaining. Bada bang, how does are you? Can a depression express itself mostly physically? Well, the depression affects something called the hypothalamus right here in the midbrain, and that controls eating, sleeping, your sexual drive, and your energy. So depression on the deepest level is a physical illness or a physical disease. So yes, fatigue, lack of energy, no concentration, losing your appetite. Oh, also the hypothalamus affects sleep. Mustn't forget about that. So yes, bada bing, depression expresses itself very physically. Rasmus say, I wanted to join a suicide line because I've been mean the world to be able to help someone in such a critical situation, but I postponed my plan because I don't have very high level in Estonian yet. I don't know what you mean by Estonian. Ronnie Adams says, hi from England. One of the members of our Tuesday group named Kate is going back to England. She's British and she moved here to America 8 years ago. Now she's taking a vacation, seeing a good friend of hers, and she loves it. And I love England. I lived there for 6 months, but I don't think I've seen you on the live chat. Estonian language, I see. You need to speak Estonian to man a crisis line. That makes sense. Lazy Eye Ranch, I had the MVD surgery that helped but didn't cure it. I'm going to ask my doctor about Lamictal. I know several patients in my office online support group that take it. What type of online support group are you in, Lazy Eye Ranch? Can you suggest this to other people here? Because, you know, very, very helpful. People need support. Remember I talked about holding the high watch? We need other people who believe that we can get better. By the way, speaking of holding the high watch, my friend Noah is 27 days clean and sober. Those of you who know him from his channel, Big No No. He carries along this little handheld camera. He does blogs, so we had lunch together. And he said, who are you? And I said, I'm Big Doug, as opposed to Big No No. He laughed hysterically. So you can call me Big Doug. KIC Bailey, thank you. I booked a psychiatrist appointment first ever here in Chattanooga. That's Tennessee. TN is over a month from now been, and it's quite a struggle. Oh, I see. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Sure, I knew that was in Tennessee. I got an A in geography. What is the capital of Boston? Massachusetts. Oh, no. What is the capital of Massachusetts? I actually think it's Springfield, not Boston. Anybody want to look that up on, what do you call it? Wikipedia. Anyway, I contribute to Wikipedia and so should you. By the way, some humor. I'm a great student of American history. You know, the Pilgrims came over, started the U.S. from England, of course, but people don't know, even though they're really stoic and didn't believe in enjoying themselves, they actually were a fan of music. And what was their favorite music, by the way? It was Plymouth Rock. Predated Elvis Presley. Plymouth Rock. Lazy Eye Ranch. Trauma General Neurology Support Group, Rare Disease, so we are all over the world. Great group of folks. Excellent. Hey, again, I had a doctor who was operated on that successfully. It's a very painful thing. I'm really sorry you've got it. And I'm glad that you have people supporting you. That's wonderful. You don't feel so alone. Well, before I went to the dentist, I couldn't eat, so here's my soup. I haven't had breakfast or lunch. Flexyard says, how can one convince themselves that this too shall pass? Aha! Here's the point. You can't always convince yourself. That's why you need other people around you who believe that this too shall pass. And if you can't convince yourself, like I couldn't, just say, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to get better, but I can make it through today. What do I need to do? Take a Klonopin, take a walk, call a friend. This too shall pass, meaning today I can make it. So even if you don't believe in your healing in the long run, believe in your healing just for today and have people around you. A vision statement. So look, Flexyard, I'm going to do you a big favor because I like the way you've been coming to the channel. Send me a vision statement. Send me an email and I will send you a free exercise from my first week of my Healing from the Depression Recovery program called Setting the Intention to Heal. But FlexJared, before you email me, you should go watch this video that I made. It's called Setting the Intention to Heal. I lost my mouse, but yeah, okay, S-E-T, come on, guy. T-T-I-N-G, the I-N-T-E-N-T-I-O-N, to heal. So FlexJared, look at that video, then email me, and I'll send you the exercise, and I'll go over it with you. Okay? TNTZX, hello, we haven't seen you before in the live chat. That Lady Dre, another new paper. Any suggestions on what to do when you need help, but due to past experience, don't trust anyone talking to anybody? You're terrified after being treated like a criminal. I'm sorry about that, Lady Day. But look, if you go to a really good counselor, a good therapist who specializes in treating people with depression and anxiety, you will not be treated like a criminal. Neither if you go come here and talk with the people here, or if you find a depression online support group. Greg Sandler has one, and you should go ahead and check him out. Hello, I'm Greg at gmail.com. But yes, choose the right type of person to talk to, and you will not be treated like a criminal. You do need to reach out for support. Does exercise really help with depression? Roddy Adam, I've made 5 videos on this subject. Yes, yes, yes. Every scientific study out there says yes, yes, yes. And I have my own personal experience. When I ride to the top of Rocky Butte, my mood goes from a 3 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10 within 1 hour. Wow, you've done your channel for a long time. What do you mean long time? It's only since 2012. My website I've done since the year 2000. That's 18 years. And I started writing books in 1978. That's 40 years. By the way, go to Amazon.com and type in my name. You'll see how many books I've written. But go to that website. That's been around for a while. Rasmus A says to that Lady Dre, sorry to hear that. Been treating like a criminal. I often get mistreated a lot too. Well, there is a big, big, big stigma about depression. Let me give you a story. One of the men in my group, really nice guy, left the group after he felt better. He had a relapse. So the other day he was at work and he was horribly depressed. He was actually having thoughts of self-harm. What he wanted to do was excuse himself to go home and take care of himself and to, go on a bike ride or call a friend. But he couldn't. What was he going to say to his, manager? I'm depressed. I need to go home. But what if he had a migraine headache? What if he were running a fever? What if he were sneezing uncontrollably? They'd say, go home, take care of yourself. But when someone has a depression attack at work, they don't understand it. And guess what? Depression is a lot more dangerous than a cold or the flu. So there's the stigma right there. KIC Bailey, I agree with that. Lady Dre may have had bad experience with trusting professionals, friends, family. We're going to be upfront about mood disorder, playing significant role in how I think, behave. KIC Bailey, you have to connect with the right people. They're out there. I promise you, I would not be alive if the right people had not supported me. So don't give up. I did reach out to a crisis line, and CMPD was sent to my house because my son was crying when I called in. Well, that's dumb. Call the Oregon Warm Line. I'll see if they take out-of-state calls, okay? Channing Taub, 1978, the year I was born. How old does that make you? Oh, actually, I'm 103, but I'm feeling really great. I'm joking. Well, you math students out there, I was born on February 22nd, 1949, the year of the ox. Do the math. You know how old I am. Rasmus A. By the way, 1978 was a great year, Channing Taub. I loved that year. That was the year I started my writing career, as I told you. And hung out with my parents in Florida, had a wonderful time. Rasmus A. At Priscilla Arroyo, I'm a chronic worrier too. I'm yet to find a weight. But for chronic worries, focus is always a problem, not much on the solution. Well, Rasmus A., you need to buy a book called Not to Worry. Or you can look at my video called 3 Steps to Overcoming Worry. There's so many good books on worry. Here's the deal. All things fall into 2 categories, those you can control and those you can't. If you can't control a situation, then why worry? And if you can control it, then go out and do something about it. A quick 2-step process for overcoming worry. Bada bing, were you also very shaky and full of adrenaline with tachycardia after waking up for the first 2 hours or so? Well, I don't think you're talking about me. tachycardia is a very scary thing to happen. So I don't know who you answered that question to, but yeah, I'm not quite sure who that question is to. But are you 69? Well, you go to the head of the class, Chani Thav. I'm not quite sure what nationality this is yet. You go to the head of the class. I used a math teacher, A+, plus extra credit. Thank you for addressing my problem. You're more than happy, Lady Day. That Lady Dre. What does that Lady Dre mean? But I love it. Bada bing. I have that sense. I get so sick and I throw up. Mornings are the worst. Not to Worry is a book I recommend. So, and I'm not quite sure, Lazy Eye Ranch, why you get sick, but you look great for 103. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're talking to me? I didn't have tachycardia in the middle of the night, did I? Where did I write that? I'm the Hebrew duck nationally. You remember when I showed the Hebrew duck on my last live chat, right? That's right. We talked about this. Thank you for addressing mine as well, Lady Dre. Much stigma with mental health, mood disorder stuff. Oh my God, yes. My name is TY. TYS, thank you. Did you teaching a class not make you anxious, Douglas? Which class were you referring to? I love to teach. When I teach, I feel better. That's why I'm going to do this workshop for Oregon Warm Line. I love to gather stuff to teach. I'm a teacher at heart. All my books are teaching. Hey, okay, we don't have. When going through Hell Don't Stop, but we've got this book. My main recommendation for healing from depression. 12 Weeks to a Better Mood. I love this book. Math classes, Flex-Yard. Oh yeah, no, I couldn't teach in the high schools. I was not good at class management. That's why I went to chiropractic school, because I had so many cricks in my neck for dodging the erasers. I had to go to chiropractic school. But once I got there, I had a hard time getting adjusted. All right, but no, I actually got into personal private tutoring for 40 years. Much better suited for me. But thank you for asking, Flex-Yard. Bada bing, when I was experiencing the depression in the book, I had agitated depression. I paced back and forth, hit myself in the head. I didn't have tachycardia. That's when people have panic attacks, but it was horrible. You're still in the UK, Marin M. Wow, Marin W. But my husband and I will be moving to Ireland later this month because of some visa issues. I've started to get uneasy about the move. You know what? There is a number of people on this live chat from Ireland. I think, I don't know if Arvin McLeod is from Ireland. I don't think so. But Kevin McCord, who used to be on here. And there's a really cool person named Enda, E-N-D-A, but don't know his address. But no, I know people from Ireland. It's a beautiful country. Do you think a person can overcome depression and or anxiety by solely using self-help methods and no conventional meds, says Johnny Taub? Yes, depending on the severity of the condition. If you're in a mild to moderate depression, you can read the self-directed recovery program in this book and apply the tools, and it will make a big difference. If you're in a serious clinical depression, you need the big guns like medication, TMS, and ECT. That's been my experience personally and professionally. But yes, mild to moderate depression, you don't necessarily need medication, and you should try the lifestyle habits first, and if they don't work, then go to the medication. Always start there, and in many cases it will be enough, but not in all cases. KIC Bailey, any guidance for effectively communicating with, say, employers, friends, feeling about the mood disorder being a real thing, non-invisible, big to know is how I got to you. Yeah. You just need to tell them, just because something is not apparent on the outside doesn't mean it's not real. Look at bacterial infections. They're on the inside. Look at cancer. I mean, of course, you know, there are many people walking around there with cancer. You can't even tell, and yet they have a tumor, you know, in their kidneys or something. So, you know, the way you know someone's depressed is by symptoms. And so just tell them that it's real. Many famous people have had it. Winston Churchill called it the black dog, and it's a real brain disorder, and it affects the body as well as the mind. Did you get a chance to read the last email I sent you, TMAC0110? I sent you the link to Instrumental for your first video. Oh yeah, you did. I haven't got a chance to listen to it. Thank you for looking that up. I'll check that out this afternoon. You know, TMAC192, I get over 70 emails a day. Now, if you're unemployed, you can go over here and you can be my assistant in Oregon. Whoops, somebody's calling me on the phone, but guess what? I'm not going to take it. That lady, Dre, all I could think of was, please don't kill me just for calling for help. I'm not dangerous. I just want help. Yeah, well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but next time you call a crisis line, you know, make sure your son is not crying. No one's going to harm you if you're feeling ill. You just need, where are you located? What crisis line did you use? I want to know that. I have 1-800-273-TALK. That's a national crisis line you can call. The feeling of being run over by several trucks and a body that has trouble rebooting every time you wake up, says Lazy Eye Ranch. Yes, excellent description of depression. It is certainly real. How do you gauge the severity? You rate yourself on a 1 to 10 scale every day. 10 is ecstasy, enlightenment, or mania. 1 is, you know, suicidal depression. 5 is neutral. If you're a 4 or above, you can help yourself. If you're like a 3.5 to a 5, you can try conventional methods. I mean, lifestyle methods, excuse me. If you're below a 3.5, you probably need more conventional treatments and medications and other medically proven techniques like TMS and ECT. So that's what you do. Just see how bad you feel. If you feel moderately bad, you can do it with lifestyle habits. If you feel horribly bad, if you can't function, if you can't go to work, if you can't get out of bed and make breakfast for yourself, if you can't go out and converse with friends, that's when you need something more than just lifestyle habits. You're in Charlotte, which must be Virginia, I believe. Sorry that happened, Lady Day. Mine along lines of being dumped, friends, girlfriends, very less extreme that you've experienced. So that Lady Dre, tell me one more time what happened when you reached out for help. Could you summarize that for me? I'd really appreciate it. Flex Yard says, I have a fear of going crazy and harming myself even though I know it wouldn't happen. Well, a lot of times people have those kinds of phobias, but just, you know, watch the fear. Tell yourself, you know, this is fine. This is just my mind. It's just my anxiety. It's not going to happen. It's not real. Keep reassuring yourself. Lady Iranch, bada bing, that's how I feel every morning. This morning was worse because I woke up to my dog barking at rattlesnakes, nothing like venomous vipers, first thing in the morning. You are amazing. Someone should do a reality TV show about your life. I mean, in the sense of how you're living off the grid, not about the depression. Rasmus say, that lady, that's horrible. You could even report them if you want to. It's so irresponsible. They don't want to work there. They don't have the patience censoring, but they shouldn't be there. So again, Lazy, that Lady Dre, I'm not quite sure. It was further up in the conversation what type of trauma you had when you reached out for help. Maybe you could repeat that. I'm trying to kind of scroll through. But yeah. So tell me again what happened, because I can't quite find what you were saying. Yeah. You feel like you're being treated like a criminal, but again, I'm not quite sure what incident happened. So maybe you can, okay, you call out the crisis line, and I don't know what CMPD is, but you have to tell me what CMPD means. That was sent to your house. What's the best way to deal with nighttime anxiety? Get up, do some deep breathing, read a book, or, you know, take, if you have an anti-anxiety medication, that would be very helpful. If your doctor has prescribed one to you. Warm milk, if you really, you know, feel like out of control, take a warm bath. I just go ahead and just deep breathe and count sheep from 100 to 1. Hey, Daniel, Kate, we were just talking about you with Joe Osteen. I'm late to the party and I feel horrible. You're horrible at your late, or you just feel horrible because you were depressed? Your videos are a great help. Please don't stop making them. Thank you, Ronnie Adam. I want to again let you know about my Patreon page. I'm using this page to help pay for these videos, but no, I'm going to make one. I've been making one once a month since 2012, and I will probably continue to make at least no less than 3 a month. I'm working on this new book and this workshop, so I do have to take some time off, but I will not stop making the videos at least 3 a month and probably once a week. I have over 300 videos, whoever said that, so you can go ahead and check them all out. It'll keep you busy. Pain and tired. Well, you know, just take care of yourself, Danielle. Take a warm bath, nurture yourself. You'll feel better. Charlotte Metro Department Police, I guess, says K.I. Bailey about who came to her house. Well, you know, Virginia is not exactly the most enlightened place when it comes to mental illness, right? Me and Joel Eisner are not an item. LOL. I didn't say you were. I just said you knew him and you knew about his church. You don't know him personally, but of course, you're going to take me to his church when I come down there. I wish I could. Hey, Joan? Gotta ask my wife for a joke book. What did the, oh, I can't. It was a, hey, Joan? Yes? When you get a chance, could you hand me that red joke book for the kids that's by the chair? Yeah, yeah. It should be there. I want to tell a joke. Thanks a lot. I recommend this book for bad puns. What do you get when you cross a bear with a forest? Fir trees. Boy, they're going to get worse from now on. Have you ever had anxiety where you felt really scared but there was nothing to fear? Yeah. I mean, I was afraid. Oh my God. My last episode, I couldn't get on an airplane to go watch my nephew's graduation. Just paralyzed leaving the house. That lady, I said I need to call back, and right as I was got him calm, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department was in here. I'm in North Carolina. Right, Charlotte's in North Carolina, not Virginia. I'm sorry, I should know that. Of course you were kidding. Well, you love my joke about the dyslexic insomniac? He lay awake all night saying, "Is there a dog?" You mean that one? Well, I'm sorry you had the experience with the police. Well, call the Metro line again, or just call and say, hey, you don't need to send the police out because I have a crying baby, but you may want to also try some different crisis lines besides that one. So I'm starting to cough. Oliver McLeod, here it is. I'm going to take one of his lozenges. We'll see what it does. Which country's capital has the fastest growing population? Ireland. Every day it's Dublin. I heard that a different way, Oliver. Why is Ireland getting so wealthy? Because every day its capital is Dublin. Capital mean, of course, like capitalism, you know, their investments. Not anyone who was skilled in mental health care ever showed up, only the police. Well, you need to call the crisis line and tell them that they need to have skilled mental health workers showing up like we do in Portland. Or, as I say, find a different crisis line. I mean, call the Multnomah County crisis line here in Portland, right? That works. That's funny. I know you like it. About being lazy in I Ranch, rattlesnakes would make sense why you were feeling like that. Awesome, Oliver. Yeah. I love these things. Want an animal joke? What happened when the spider got a new sports car? Well, he took it for a spin. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Once again, I'm going to let the latecomers know that I'm working on a new book for the first time in 13 years. I've written 11 of them, and I need some time to write. So my Sunday live chats will continue. My Monday videos will continue. You will have 2 videos a week from me, but I'm taking a short sabbatical from Wednesday. So this will be the last Wednesday that we're doing this for a while, but it will come back once I finish this project. And I'll mention it again on the Sunday live chat. Shiny Tub says, I think if we all embrace the idea of death and accept it, we can live anxiety-free life. Well, yes, easier said than done. You know what Woody Allen says, I don't mind death, I just don't want to be there when it happens. By the way, down at the bottom of your screen is this $. It means super chat. You can click on that, and you will be you can make a contribution of $1, $2, $5. Support this channel. Your name will go to the top of the line, the head of the class. You will be recognized by YouTube. How do you come out of that fear state, Douglas? I'm stuck in it. Well, every time I've been anxious, I've also been depressed. And when the depression clears, the anxiety clears. However, I did take Lamictal, which is a mood stabilizer, and something called Zyprexa, which is an antipsychotic, which is very good for anxiety. Zyprexa. And also something called Seroquel. How's your sleeping, by the way? It really helps with sleep. Seroquel. Also, flex your art. If you do intense exercise, that will help break the anxiety trap. I mentioned this earlier in the video. I don't know if you saw it in the live chat. How to rewire your anxious brain. My most popular video. You should definitely look at this. There's a lot of strategies, but exercise is the best. Also, dipping your head in cold water in the sink and holding your breath, called the dive response, is very effective. Anyway, check out this video. Death, easier said than done, but does mean we shouldn't aim for a solution. Well, a lot of Buddhist friends I know who are very at peace with death, they realize that they're just going to go into the mind stream and be reincarnated. So yeah, I'm petrified of death, but I think I'm more accepting it now that I'm 69 than I did when I was 34. Bada bing, do you have any tips about how to get off that unrealistic feeling like you're in a bubble? I'm not quite sure. Is that derealization? That's part of depression. You can get your depression treated. I've never had that experience, bada bing, but if it's depersonalization or derealization, actually that's also part of anxiety. You should go to a clinician who specializes in treating that condition. Hey, J. Rose, nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Well, one more joke. Oh, by the way, I have an interview at 1 o'clock with a guy who runs something in Portland called Lines for Life. It's a wonderful crisis line you can call if you're dealing with a drug addiction. They handle people who are suicidal, young people. It's wonderful. And I'm going to interview him from my book and workshop exactly at 1 o'clock. He's going to call me. So we're going to have to get off here at around 12:50 my time. I need 10 minutes to eat because this is going to be a long interview. So just letting you know we have about 10 minutes left. Hey, I.C. Bailey, can you speak to holding on a job while struggling with untreated symptoms of bipolar depression, which finding significantly infect my ability to work? Very challenging. You may ask for what's called a medical leave of absence for a month or two. That's what some of my clients do, and then they come to my group and get treatment so they can work on the mental health. So you may need to ask, they have to give it to you, by the way, American Disabilities Act. Otherwise, see if you can take some sick leave, take some days off, or maybe go to part-time. Decrease your stress. Do the best you can, but if you're still not able to cope at work, either take some personal days off, do part-time, or take a leave of absence. It happens all the time. Lady Lazy Eye Ranch, my son has recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Oh my God. He's taking Abilify. It makes him sleep a lot. Yes, it does. How many milligrams? Abilify is a very good medication for schizophrenia and depression. So keep an eye on him. Ask him if it's helping him. It's worth a try. Zyprexa is also very, very good for symptoms of schizophrenia. And how much Abilify is he taking? Also, thank you for the YouTube videos. It's really appreciated. No problem, that Lady Dre. What part of the country do you live in, or what part of the world? I'm always curious. Oliver McLeod, Eckhart Tolle put it the best about death. How can you lose what you are? That's very philosophical. I like that. Ramana Maharshi, the great Indian saint, when his students were crying, you know, as he was dying of cancer, they said, "Oh, Baba, Baba, please don't leave us." He said, "Leave you? Where could I go?" Same idea, right? The spirit is always here. You're not losing what you are if you believe in afterlife. Yeah, I agree. Well, I believe there's something in us that persists beyond death. And love, of course, is stronger than death. That's the key. Thornton Wilder, The Bridge at San Luis Rey, you should read the last chapter of that book. Love, the only survival, the only meaning. And so if you love someone or they love you, even when you die or they die, the love carries on. I did a medical leave for 4 months, says J. Rose Kid Bailey. Well, there you have it. Did you hear that, Casey? K-I-D, K something Bailey? Cassie Bailey? Yeah. J. Rose did a medical leave for 4 months. Exactly what I'm talking about. T.J. Rose, yes, you will need to get seen again by a psychiatrist first, it seems, establish the medical nature of the thing. Absolutely. So who was basically talking about having a hard time at work? I need to go back and see that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's you, K.I.C. Bailey. Yeah, get a psychiatrist note. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Medical note, they can't dispute that. So, group therapy worked great. Psych ward was useless. Well, yeah, it's just a holding pattern in the psychiatric ward. They're necessary if you're thinking of harming yourself, but they're just a holding pattern. But the real healing comes outside the hospital. Yeah. So Oliver McLeod, do you like Eckhart Tolle? And Flexior, I think you told me where you were from, but I'm not quite sure. Huh. What happened when the, well, actually, I love frogs. They went to a pond where frogs live. I saw a sign that said, no trespassing, you will be towed. Frogs only allowed here, all others will be towed. All right, Lazy Iran, she's on low dose so far, will increase after a month. What does low dose mean? I used to take 5 milligrams if it goes well. Sucks when only 2 people in the home are both mentally ill. We're both in low places. Well, can't you have someone live with you, like a roommate? I'm sure there are a lot of people who like to get out into the country and get away from, civilization. Get a roommate. That would be helpful if you find the right person. KIC Bailey says, yes, I will try Group J. Rose. Never even before, even when on the brink. Yep, psych wards have been there. Very disturbing, not helpful. I've been in 5 psych wards. I probably beat everybody. But the last one was helpful. I got ECT while I was in the hospital. Thank God for food. So, J. Rose says, no, library in an hour radius in Connecticut has your books. Great. Excellent. J. Rose, why don't you see if any local bookstores will carry them? That would be very nice. Your psych board would not do ECT, J. Rose. Well, neither would mine, but they transported me over to Oregon Health Sciences University, where I got the ECT, even though I was at St. Vincent's Hospital. So I don't know if you need ECT. It's a method of last resort, but I had run out of options, which is why I used it. KIC Valley, I don't know what field you're in, but sometimes companies will let you work from home. Well, that's a great idea, that Lady Dre. We have a member of our Monday support group who actually can work at home. So when she can't get out of bed to go to work, she can work from bed remotely, and that works for her. So excellent idea, working from home. Nice work, that Lady Dre from Charlotte, North Carolina. By the way, I hear that Asheville, right? Is that the name? A nice countercultural town like Berkeley and Austin, Texas, Madison, Wisconsin. I've always wanted to go to Asheville, North Carolina. Have you been there? So, in addition to deep depression, I have a big fear of not knowing what will happen after graduation, mainly location-wise. So it makes studying next to impossible. What to do? Rather say, just tell yourself, I will cross that bridge when I come to it. I can't control the future, but what I can control is how I study. So you should really tell yourself, not to let the uncertainty of the future interfere with your concentration. that Lady Dre would love that. Field I'm currently in, that wouldn't work, unfortunately. What field are you in? Working from home is great, but it keeps us isolated. You're right, J. Rose. That's why you need to get out once or twice a day. Go somewhere, even if it's to go shopping or, you know, a walk in the park, or just even having an appointment with the dentist like I had. Yes, Physicality is great, but I also love a guy named Adyashanti from the U.S. That's a Hindu name. Send me a link to his website. I haven't, but to hear the land is beautiful. Well, the culture is also beautiful. Anyway, Flex Shard, if you're still here, remember, email me and I will send you a exercise called Setting the Intention to Heal. Even when you feel hopeless, you can still imagine a time when you are better. Even if you don't believe in it, you can still hold a vision and have other people hold it for you. The Christio, check out Noah Ekrif. Yes, he's good, although he sits there in the same thing over again. Very popular, has many, many millions of people watching his channel. Eat your heart out, Doug. Your chapter great. We need to surround ourselves with people who understand. Thank you, Douglas. No problem. Now, again, I'm only going to be doing them on Sunday for a while. That's noon Pacific time, 8 p.m. UK time. But once I get done with this book project and this workshop I'm supposed to lead, then we'll come back to Sundays and Wednesdays. And again, I'll type his name. He hasn't been on here lately. I don't know why. I'll have to call him up and see what's going on. So Greg Sandler has his own drop-in support group, virtual, online. You can email him and see if he still has that going. Also, the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance, DBSA, has groups, and so does NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. You can check these websites out. That's DBSA, and you can also check NAMI. They have locations, at least in every state in the United States, where they have support group meetings for free. You're in professional sales? Well, my God, no wonder, Cassie Bailey. No wonder why depression is making it difficult to do your job. You have to be on. I was in sales for years. You have to be motivated. Oh, no. Being depressed and trying to sell is almost impossible. So you probably need to take some time off. Well, it is now 12:51. This call is coming in 9 minutes. So any last minute questions before I go? Now, I will see you again this Sunday, May 13th, Mother's Day in America. Do they sell Mother's Day? Do they celebrate Mother's Day in the UK? Or is it just an American holiday? Interesting question. Maybe Oliver McLeod can write me and let me know. So I'll see you on Sunday. You can always, I'll give you the email address again. You can always email me with your questions and or make comments in the comment section of the video. And you guys can continue to talk to each other on this live chat. I suggest that you exchange your own email addresses or phone numbers so you can continue to support each other. That's what it's about: horizontal support, mutual support. It takes a village to see someone through a dark night of the soul. I would not have made it without support. That's why I run support groups. Support, critical. Reach out, even if it's risky. Lady Dre, I know you had a bummed out experience with the police department where you live. Go try the National Suicide Helpline, 1-800-275-TALK. And I'll let you know if the Oregon Warm Line is accepting calls from other states. You do celebrate Mother's Day, but a different date? Cool. Yes, Cassie Bailey, you're here. Well, Jay Rosen, why don't you give your contact information to Cassie Bailey? Maybe you guys can email, or you can do some texting after this live chat. But please, connect with each other, support each other. That's called horizontal support. That's called peer support, intentional peer support. And that is just as important as professional support, I think. Pro Sales mirrors the Bible Pro thing. I'm on finding hard, weird. Yes, well, you know, when you're in sales, you go up when you make a sale, and you go down when you get, you know, when you can't close the deal. So yes, I can see why it would be like bipolar disorder. I have a habit of avoiding a situation where I feel super uncomfortable, and you can't imagine not studying a new language while everyone else's native speaker isn't comfortable. What should you do? You should continue to push through the discomfort and do it anyway. Also find a counselor who can encourage you. I mean, you know, you're doing a good thing, you're doing a courageous thing. Just ask people for support. I commend you for doing what you're doing. And just tell yourself, you know, I'm running my own race. I don't have to compare myself to native speakers. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm doing a hard thing. And congratulate yourself and give yourself some credit. Well, last question. Craig Smith just popped in. Thank you for all your live streams. I'm sure you're helping many people. How do you appreciate about drinking, smoking marijuana? Used to do it in excess and have quit. Have a great day. Some people use marijuana to medicate their anxiety or help them sleep. I think in moderate doses, it's okay. But if you have an addictive personality, especially if you're an alcoholic, of course you can't drink. And the problem with these substances is you tend to, you know, lose control over them. So some people need to go cold turkey, especially off of alcohol. I support that if that's what you want to do. I think these recreational drugs done in moderation, and I mean moderation, you know, not as bad as smoking cigarettes, and that'll kill you, but I think you have to be really wary if you have a mental illness of using these substances to treat your symptoms. Better to use the techniques in my book, the techniques that we know about lifestyle habits and, you know, medication, if that suits you, and use those things as opposed to recreational drugs. Beat yourself up all the time instead of giving yourself credit or praise, to be honest. Well, Rasmus say you need to switch that habit. Ask your friends, ask your parents, ask your counselor, or just ask the people on this channel. Praise yourself. You're doing a great job. You've been through a lot. You know, give yourself a pat on the hat. And anytime that negative critical voice comes, say, cancel, cancel, you know, go away, inner critic, I don't need you, and give yourself the praise you deserve. Hey, Forever Freak, I'm signing off, but nice to see you, and come back on Sunday. All right, so 12:56. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. That Lady Dre, connect with people here, connect with KIC Bailey. Don't be afraid of crisis lines. You can also call, I'll give you the Multnomah County crisis line, which, you know, calling in from another state might be strange, but you never know. But, you know, that Lady Dre, if the one in your hometown is not a good crisis line, find other ones. And here's one right here. J. Rose, Craig, I have a medical marijuana card. It only helps sleep. Alcohol is terrible for temporary relief. Again, if you're using it cautiously, it's okay. Medical marijuana cards in places where they have those things. So, goodbye, everybody. I guess I'm going to have Bruce say goodbye to you. I want Bruce to say goodbye to you. Except I'm having a hard time getting, I'm going to go cancel. What am I going to do? All photos. All photos. Having a hard time. Well, so much for Bruce. Try one more time. Boom. All photos. There we are. Albums. Camera roll. Okay.
All right, everybody. So Bruce, look at him. He loves to be scratched under the arms. He's curling his balls according to Jesse, which is a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, look, come on, try under the stomach and see what happens.
There's Bruce the cat saying goodbye. He loves to be rubbed. Look at those arms, how limp they are. Oh my goodness. And there he is, Bruce the Persian cat. One of a kind. All right, Bruce, I know. The ladies love Bruce. J. Rose Bailey, my email is jen.roseman at ATD.net. Excellent, excellent, KSC Bailey. You and J. Rose communicate. KSC Bailey, same Lady Dre. It's due to Noah, Big No-No, whom Douglas knows, that I'm coming out about this mood disorder stuff. Noah has a big channel, helps a lot of people. He's doing very well. Bye, Forever Freak. I'm glad you love Bruce. That Lady Dre, I love your little cat. Too late for the party, but hi. Anyways, yes, Forever Freak, another supporter. I'll put my Patreon account one more time. Those of you who want to become a subscriber, not a subscriber, a member. And let me just type this out. /DOUGLASBLOCH. Keep up the good work. Keep reaching out for help. Keep supporting each other. And I'm glad you love Bruce J. Rose. We do here in Portland, Oregon. Until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. We will see you again live on Sunday. And check out my video that just came out about how to heal from alcoholism and depression at the same time. Goodbye.